Hi guys, this is Vineet Pandey and today I am going to deal with UPSC Mains Review, the exam which recently got conducted. I have received the paper and I'm going to talk about the questions. Along with this, I will also come with a proper review using the digital board. For that particular thing, subscribe the channel so that you can have a proper review with all the details, references, how you have to prepare those questions. Right now, in the present review, I'm going to tell you the standard of paper and how you should have a proper approach for these kind of questions. The first one we have is the flowering of Renaissance values in Elizabethan theatre. When you prepare for Elizabethan writers, how many writers are prescribed from Elizabethans? You will see you have John Donne, you have Shakespeare, then the last of Elizabethans, Milton for Paradise Lost. But they're talking about theatre, means they're actually talking about King Lear, they're talking about Tempest. All the students who are studying with me, that's the reason I taught you University Wits, Development of Drama, and that's the reason I delivered a lecture on theatres in Elizabethan. Remember the private live classes where I have talked about the theatres, the development of all types of theatres. This question is one of the free kind of question and has been given as it is. Here, the students who are going to prepare for the next time, just remember, this is UPSC. If you're reading one writer, but you do not know the background, the base of the writer, the genre that writer comes from, the contribution of the writer in literature, you are making a mistake. When I taught King Lear, Tempest, dealing with Shakespeare, I made sure that my students know about the development of drama, parts of drama, religious drama, morality drama, interludes, then various types of theatres. This question is one of the easiest one and is very easy to write down. Question number 2. This video is being shot at home, no editing at all. Here, you and me, we are one-on-one talking to each other, no graphics, no editings, even my throat. So technically what I want to say, that is simply coming from my heart, coming from my brain. Question number 2, it's B. The moral dilemmas of the Victorian age. The moral dilemma. Well, I will take the credit once again. When I dealt with Victorian literature, because there are many novelists prescribed in UPSC syllabus. George Eliot is there. Then you have to read Tess of the Abervilles. Then the other writers from the Victorian references. When you read Victorians, you must know Victorian compromise, Victorian scientific attitude, Oxford movement, Tractarian movement, and the issue between science and religion. When I taught my students, I made sure that even they know about the development of colonization in Victorians. So this question is again easy. It actually deals with the moral conduct, hanging between two worlds, one powerless to be won, one dead. The ideological preoccupations of romantic movement. This is a question which is not clearly asked in a direct way, but they are actually talking about the development of romantic age. Do you know that the romanticism started from German literature, the Sturm and Drang philosophy? It was a romantic movement with philosophy. This question is not directly asked, but yes, not a tough question at all. The question number D, option 1D, factors that contributed to the rise of English novel as a genre. My friends, this is simply the development of English novel. All the students who are actually preparing for the exam in a proper way will take references of the grandfather of English novel, Chaucer. In his famous work Troilus and Cresside, it is called the grandfather of English novels. Then we have Thomas Nash, Unfortunate Traveller. So the standards of novel, the proper development novel, it comes from that timings. See, I was suffering from viral, that is the reason I'm 2 days late. Still in AC, I'm sweating. This is the result of viral. But it is my duty to tell you how this paper was, how you must prepare. So this question is again easy. It's simply the rise of novel, the development of novel, one of the easy kind of paper. Then, imagery of metaphysical poetry. Remember students, especially the registered one who are studying under my guidance, I have taught you not only metaphysical poetry, I have taught you how Samuel Johnson made them famous, how T.S. Eliot made them recognized, and how John Donne's poetry has been studied from post-colonial narratives. Conceits idea. What they are talking about is imagery. Imagery is concept, far-fetched imagery. One of the easiest version, and as I have taught you, poetry is line by line. It's quite easy to take references and cite those things. Question number 2, and then again parts. Critically analyze the discourse in colonialism. You must be thinking, why smiling? You know why? See, I'm studying also. A teacher should be real in the class. And as I'm not going to edit this, I don't need any editings and all. I am talking to my students. I'm imagining the best students listening to me right now. This question: critically analyze the discourse of colonialism in Tempest. Was it a tough question? For me, it was a cakewalk. Easy. Why? Because yes, the modern studies of Tempest are actually done on the basis of post-colonial narratives. Proper lecture has been given on this topic. I have shared recommended readings, PDFs, post-colonialism, the study of colonialism and post-colonialism in Tempest. Remember how Caliban says, "My master, thou hast taught me a tongue, and my benefit I can curse you, may the red plague rid upon you." The concept of Trinculo looking at Caliban says, "Look at the beast, we will take him to England dead or alive. Any English gentleman who would not spend a penny for a good cause will give a 10 tongue." One of the easiest question, and when I'll go for a complete, proper digital board narration, once I'm fine, I will show you the proofs also. We have taught these things so easy. So till now, it's easy. Discuss the conflict of revolutionary politics in Paradise Laws as delineated in the book prescribed for study. Yes, we did not teach that. This is not directly connected. But can we say that our students won't be able to write this? If they have actually worked on lecture, they can write it. Why so? Because how many of you, if you are my students, remember, Lamartine said Paradise Lost is a dream of a Puritan fallen asleep over his Bible. All you have to connect is the situation of Puritans, Civil War, Charles Swan, the the theatre closing of 1642, the Civil War of 1642, 7 years, no parliament, and after that, the formation of Puritan Parliament. Political trouble. This is very important. Presbyterian government. I understand it's not directly easy. Normally students won't understand, and even I have not taught it directly from this point of view. मैंने भी ये डायरेक्टली नहीं पढ़ाया है, लेकिन क्या मैं अब नहीं पढ़ाऊंगा? As I'm going to provide all the answers for these questions, sample answers and lectures, this will be my lecture. Then explicate on the use of irony, epigram, anticlimax, parody, allusion, alongside the vivid pictures of courtly life depicted in Rape of the Lock. It's quite simple, just ask in a different language. The question is easy. They are simply asking you Rape of the Lock as a mock epic. What makes it a mock epic? What is the difference between epic and mock epic? I have taught that. What makes it a mock epic is these kind of things: irony, climax, anticlimax, epigrams. These things make it mock epic. What they have done, instead of asking a direct question that discuss Rape of the Lock as a mock epic, because what I have taught, William Hazlitt called it the perfection of mock epic. The way selves, spleen, gnomes, salamanders have been used, areas they have been used. This is the form of mock epic. And I have taught this thing in the classes that this was inspired by Rosicrucian mythology, which was first used by Abdi Villiers in Le Comte de Gavalis. For me, it's easy question. So till now, just there is one tough question. It's easy. The next chapter, third. John Donne reinvented love by rescuing it from social feudal moorings to place it in the realms of private in the moderns. Kind of narrative question, elaborative, 15 marks. I won't say it's easy, but obviously it's not tough at all. Simply, they are asking that the portrayal of love by John Donne was totally different than others. How do you portray it? It's simple. Take the reference of sun rising, take the reference of ecstasy, take the reference of flea, and it's quite easy for you all to answer it. The next one, what is the role of Hamartia in the tragedy King Lear? Do you know the exam of mains got conducted on 25th of September? My video, how to prepare for UPSC with examples of King Lear and Tempest, it was posted one day before. ध्यान से देखना, आपका मेंस एग्जाम कब हुआ है उससे एक दिन पहले my YouTube video I was talking about how to study Shakespeare for UPSC, what should be your approach for King Lear, what should be your approach for Tempest. There I talked about Aristotelian standards of reading tragedy, Hamartia. So there is one question, post-colonial narration of Tempest. I talked about this. I talked about Hamartia. These two questions are as it is, that is I'm suggesting in a YouTube video. एग्जाम से एक दिन पहले जो वीडियो पोस्ट किया है जिसमें मैं कह रहा हूं ये पढ़ लेना, ऐसे आ जाता है, ऐसे आ सकता है, वो दो क्वेश्चन तो एज इट इज आ गए हैं. इट्स इजी. रोल ऑफ Hamartia, what tragic flaw we call it, by A.C. Bradley. Then Wordsworth constitutes sublimity out of his own overbearing subjectivity. This is kind of tough because it's totally dealing with the criticism of Wordsworth. When Wordsworth is not prescribed in your syllabus as a critic, the question is directly taken from his idea of poetry. For UPSC point of view, it's tough. As a student, if you are studying without classes, without guidance, it's tough. Question 4. Attempt a gender critic of Doll's House. I will take the credit again. सच बोल रहा हूँ तो credit लेने को कोई टेंशन नहीं है. It's simply a feminist study of Doll's House by Henry Gibson. तुम मुझको गुड़िया कहते हो, खेलने वाले सब हाथों को मैं गुड़िया ही लगती हूँ. हाँ, प्यार करो, मांग भरो, दिल से लगाओ, जब दिल भर जाए दिल से उठा के ताक पे रख दो. तुम मुझको गुड़िया कहते हो, हाँ मैं गुड़िया ही हूँ. This was my example in my lectures. In memoriam, a dramatization of sorrow. But it's an easy question because In Memoriam was written on the death of Arthur Henry Hallam. It took 17 years to complete. There are works like Tears, Idle Tears, Break, Break, Break. This is one of the finest dramatization. Any student who remembers these things will be able to answer it. Again, it's a cakewalk. 4th C. Critically assess Milton's Saturn as one of the most dynamic, complicated characters in literature. My friends, 15 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है. Saturn का कैरेक्टर पूछ रहे हैं. You just have to talk about Saturn's character. Is he a hero? Is he a villain? Is he an Avenger? You know, what do you think? Saturn is a hero or not? Like, I have taught this thing. I will give you proper screenshots of the lectures. We have talked about Saturn as a hero. We have talked about Saturn as a villain. It is said Milton was a devil's party without even knowing it. Milton didn't want to make Saturn a hero, but he made it unwillingly. That's how I teach in my UPSC classes. So, as this is section A in front of me, and it goes here section B, I'll go for a separate review of section B. I take responsibility of one question. Question number 3, part C, Wordsworth. This is not directly taught, and somewhere I have taught it, but not in details. So I take complete responsibility. This complete paper, I'm taking responsibility of one question, that I should have taught the portion of criticism in details. The question comes from criticism in details. But what about the other questions? On camera, looking straight in your eyes, I have taught almost all the questions. I take complete credit of 90% questions. And you know why I'm taking the credit? Not because I want to be praised. I'm somewhere happy that at least I got the idea exactly what they're asking in exams. I have gone through all the previous year's questions, writer-wise questions, book-wise questions. And thank God, my idea, it proved me right. If you're willing to prepare for UPSC and want a friendly class like this, where a man who is the one who is the part of literature, 8 times net, I have just, you can see the library behind me. Thank God. Like, I'm so happy. My students must have done well. There are 3 students, they have written mains. I was personally guiding those 3 students for mains. I really feel blessed. They must have done really well. Wait for my second review and my digital board review. To be the part of the classes, you can simply call us on the given number in the description. I suggest you to join our open Zoom sessions. If you want to join our open Zoom sessions, then also you can simply check the description. I will also write the phone number in the title. Contact that number that is exclusively devoted to UPSC students only. Your queries will be solved. And if you want to be the part of the batches, then trust me, you won't have to need anything. You won't need anything. I'll make sure you read, you learn, and when you come with your questions, sample answers, everything, you just find one man to answer, and that's all. You won't need anything. So waiting to teach you in Zoom classes. God bless you all.